everybody, and welcome to another episode of Bill Has Opinions, the drinking show with a life problem.
Yeah.
I'm Laura Lavoie, and I'm here with Bill Perkins, who has opinions.
Hey.
It has been a fucking long time.
It has been. It was actually only 2 weeks, but it felt like...
It was 3 weeks.
Was it 3 weeks?
3 Mondays. I guess technically that's 2 weeks if you...
Oh, yeah, give or take. Okay.
Right?
I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it does. It feels like a lifetime. It does.
It really does.
It's like so long ago.
It really does. But, so, let's just cut to the chase. How have you been?
I've been great. Things have been pretty good. I mean, I missed doing this.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I've been pretty good.
Well, you supplemented with this for a little while.
I found
right?
it. Yeah, I got a new side gig now. I'm doing. I'm hosting a trivia night at the Spot, which is my wife's taco joint. On Sunday nights, so that's cool, and it's kind of similar. It's a social engagement, and I get to,
We'll talk about this in a minute.
Get in front of people and be silly, So that's fun.
awesome. That's awesome. We were going to go yesterday, but hangovers prevented that from happening. So.
Hangovers. You remember that?
I do remember it, which we can talk about at Christmas time. I actually think if you go back to like our Christmas music episode, you can hear all about it.
I think I did talk about that one. That's my favorite part, though, is the guy who goes, hangovers.
I actually wasn't that hungover on Sunday, but
you were vague. You said we can't. We can't. And I was like, okay, whatever.
we had some tiki drinks on Saturday.
I was like, yeah, whatever. Shit comes up. I don't know. Whatever's going on.
We had some tiki drinks on Saturday, and I just didn't feel.
I saw. Yeah, you posted those tiki drinks online. I believe.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I had cool cups. Yeah,
like a Yeti and
the Yeti cooler.
Sasquatch. Yes, exactly. Fun. See, that's what I should come up with, a Yeti cooler drink. But anyway, I digress. No, our time has been, the last couple of weeks has been straightforward.
You went and saw a comedy show last week.
Oh, holy shit! I did.
That?
Yeah, instead of this show, I went to see Bobcat Goldthwait.
And how was he?
It was amazing. It was actually really fucking funny. Like, I encourage you to go see Bobcat Goldthwait if you have a chance, because he's getting older and probably won't be touring for much longer.
I don't know. He's not Jerry Seinfeld. He ain't got like a bankroll.
He also doesn't like Jerry Seinfeld, which we learned.
That's why I brought it up, was because I know that they've got beef.
We learned all about it.
Oh, did he talk about the beef?
Oh, a lot. Yeah,
I figured that was probably half of his act. He's talking about Jerry Seinfeld.
No, it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. And so those of us, Gen X children of the 80s and early 90s. Right, we're familiar with Bobcat Goldthwait from his character.
Yeah, which I had asked you ages ago, like when you first pitched, like you were like, "Hey, we're going to see Bobcat Goldthwait," and I was like, "Okay, maybe I'll do that." And then I was trying to get my wife on board, and I was like, and I asked you, I was like, "Does he still do that voice?" Because she won't be having that. Like, she's not going to put up with that at all.
He does not, except that some of it's ingrained. Like, he doesn't do it on purpose.
Okay, but he slips into it.
Every once in a while, he'll give you a little taste of it on accident, just because he's been doing it for so long.
There's that other comedian. He's newer, but he does that thing. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Shoot.
I don't. I mean, I know a lot of newer comedians, but I don't know.
I mean, he's not new. He's probably 10 years old, but he does his voice like this. Okay. And it's supposed to be his inner monologue thing, but he does it all the way through his set.
I don't know who it is, but that would annoy me.
Oh, yeah. But he did, it's his inner monologue. Like, can you really think you should do that? I wish I could remember what the guy's name was.
If anybody knows, based on that.
He's from the upper Midwest somewhere. Okay. I'll tell you that.
I mean, I would be surprised if I don't know who it is. But
oh God,
Bobcat Goldthwait was great. I'm really, really, really glad that we went to see it. It opened with a local comedian who was actually really funny too.
Okay,
so
that's always I've been to comedy shows before where I really enjoyed the opener more than anything else.
Well, that's the thing. I never go to comedy shows. Like,
right.
The last time I went to a comedy show, honest to God, was like 10 years ago or more, 11, 12, 13 years ago, to see Andy Dick.
Gosh.
Which I'll tell you what, that was before Andy Dick was a dick. I mean, he was a dick.
I mean, he wasn't that you just didn't know about it.
Yeah, we just didn't know the level
didn't
of
know
his
the
dickery
level of his
at
dickery.
that time. Yeah. And I thought that show was freaking hilarious. But then like 2-3 years later, I was like, oh shit. That didn't go well.
I saw Caroline Ray one time.
Oh
And and then the three people who opened for her, and then I also saw the dude who played. He was the Garth looking guy who was in X-Files.
Oh
Remember?
yeah. From
The Lone Gunman.
The Lone Gunman.
The one who looked like Garth.
Yeah.
He was actually a stand-up comedian. I went and saw him one time.
Nice.
But I ended up actually liking the opener more than him.
Right.
His stand-up comedy was okay.
Yeah,
but,
the local guy was really good. Are you looking up the?
I'm trying to Jim Gaffigan. That's
Oh
the guy.
yeah, no, I do not like that man.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
He does
know
that little
what you're
inner
talking about.
monologue voice.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
No,
it's kind of this whispery thing.
I'm not a fan.
not a fan of Jim Gaffigan. Okay.
You never know. Like I could see him. Sometimes it depends on the thing. Right?
I will say this: no matter what you think of a comedian, live comedy is funnier than comedy on TV.
Yes.
Like, 'cause
yes.
when you're somehow or another, when you're in the crowd of other people laughing, like it makes it twice. Like you'll laugh at shit you wouldn't have laughed at probably.
Absolutely.
You just get like contagiously goofy.
No, yeah, and I thought, but to that end, I thought that Bobcat Goldthwait was fantastic.
Well,
so I had already
sweet.
forgotten because it was a week ago. So
Oh gosh, that's all like a lifetime.
that's a
ago.
lifetime ago. But okay, we do have some beers to talk about.
Oh yeah,
So okay, I'm gonna start because you had
Okay.
a couple of these, right?
I did. Yeah.
And you were like, I'm not sure. So you brought us some treats. You brought us
Mhm.
some Sweetwater today, Sweetwater Lager.
Some water that was sweet.
Yes, but out of Atlanta, of course, it's kind of Atlanta's flagship beer. And you said, as you were drinking this in my living room, like not 20 minutes ago, you're like, I don't think I like it. And so I said, put it in the freezer because, they're better
Yeah.
ice cold.
It was better when I cooled one off.
Yeah, but it's still
not. It's not a
great.
good lager, is it? That's not their thing.
No, it tastes like you burnt the biscuits in the
there's-
toaster
it's
oven.
got, like I said, it had a kind of a nutty aftertaste or
Yeah,
something
but
that
it's
I
not
didn't
a-
love.
Good, like
Not like nutty like a porter. Like
like a beer that you expect to be nutty. This is
no,
just,
it's like
yeah.
somebody like threw peanuts in the beer or something. it's
Right, like you were at Texas Roadhouse and people were cracking their peanuts
Yeah,
and just chucking their peanut shells.
or I ate peanuts earlier and I drank my beer and then I burped.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, peanut burp. Oh, that's
Ugh.
what it tasted like to me was peanut burp.
Yeah, no, it's
actually.
not great. I don't.
And I was
love
worried it was me because I did have a handful of peanuts at lunchtime.
yeah, but that was hours ago.
But that was hours ago, and I was like, okay, maybe it's just my palate's off. I don't know, but it's not a good lager, right?
No, it's not great.
Okay,
I wouldn't.
But the reason I bought this box of beer is because of the one she's about to talk about.
Yeah, Sweetwater Going Coastal. It is combined probably one of our favorite beers. It's one of Matt's favorite beers, my beloved life
It's one of my
partner.
favorite beers, and I don't like IPAs.
And you don't like IPAs,
but
it is so good.
It's that I've been seeking this out all summer, folks. Used to be able to buy this in a tall boy a couple years ago at the gas station, and I drank the shit out of it that year. But now the only way you can find it is in this mixed 12-pack they sell called the Tackle Box. You get 3 of them. You got to buy an entire $17 worth of fucking beer to get 3 that you really want.
Right. Because otherwise you get 3 of these.
3 of their shit
and
lagers.
then you get 3 of these, which is this is their technical flagship beer, and I actually like it. You have it on deck.
It's okay.
I like it, but
It's okay for an IPA, but it's not. It's not
Well,
this.
technically it's not an IPA.
No,
It's an extra pale.
It's an
ale.
extra pale ale.
It is an extra pale ale.
Oh, it's not. Okay,
But
whatever.
then the other one in the box, which actually we'll drink next week, we're gonna save it.
yeah,
Is their blue, which is their blueberry
blueberry bleed,
blueberry
blueberry bleed.
bleed.
These bleeds,
La, 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 la.
these bleeds.
Yeah.
That's a reference to the Kingdom Hall Run.
Oh, we haven't done this in a while. Also, yes, Jay, 37 days. We'll be back in Atlanta.
Yeah,
And by the way, earlier today I was working on our pre-Dragon Con episode. We do
we were talking about it.
we do our annual Opinion Con on the Monday before Dragon Con. So I was working on some stuff today.
We
so
got
get
some new
excited.
material for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth.
Oh my god.
So yeah, you got that. I got to
smells
drink this one.
delicious. I've been craving it all summer, guys. I'm telling you.
Oh.
Like, here's the thing.
You're so
I finally broke down and I bought this mixed 12 pack, which only had 3 of the beers I wanted because I realized this week it's almost the end of July, and next week they're going to have Oktoberfest
Right.
in the grocery store.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I was like, I just better buy this. Fuck it.
The best part is you bought this, and there are 3 of us, and it's one of Matt's favorite beers too.
Yeah.
So you knew you were getting one.
No, I spent $17 to drink one beer. Isn't that crazy?
The funny part
Although
is,
it's like getting a beer in Atlanta
yeah,
at the hotel.
yes. The funny part is before the show, we actually everything in that box has been drunk already,
Yeah,
except for the blueberry
it's
wheats.
true. We drank. We went through the entire box.
So spoiler alert, next week is our wheat beer episode, so we're gonna save those.
Yeah.
So
I got some in the fridge at home too for that. I've been saving.
I've got a couple here,
So yeah.
and the more we accumulate, the less I have to go to the store.
There you go. Okay.
So-
well, we'll touch base on that next week.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway, so we're back. We've been off for almost we've been off for 3 weeks, 3 episodes. But we're back with our this one we've actually been working on for a while, our life hacks episode.
Yeah. We've been chit chatting about it for a minute.
Like 6 months.
Yeah.
And so would you like to regale our audience? Hi everybody. Regale our audience with what the fuck a life hack is.
What is a life hack? Is a thing where people think they've got one over on existence, I guess, right? Like they figured out the key to something. Like, oh, I've got a new way of doing things. It's going to revolutionize It's like the building the better mousetrap, and they'll beat the path to your door or whatever kind of thing. But people, they come up with these things, and they're like, hey, I know everybody's been doing it this way for a while, but I'm doing it this way now. And and sometimes you actually hear these things, and you're like, damn, I'll be straight with you. That's cool.
Every once in a while.
But 90% of the time, you hear it, and you're like, that's just the way that the shit's done, man. Like,
it's just a thing that you do.
That's how you do it.
That's how life works.
I tried this new thing. It's where you cook your meat.
Yes.
And you're like,
like cleaning hacks are some of my favorite. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah, because people are like, put Windex in your toilet. I'm like, well, any cleaner's gonna clean your fucking toilet.
yeah. I'll tell you what, don't put Windex on the floor because that shit you will slip and slide and bust your ass. I don't know what that shit does to floors, but especially I'm talking linoleum. If you put Windex, you ever done this?
I haven't had linoleum since I was like,
I know.
10.
I haven't had it since I lived in an apartment or something. But at one time, like there was a spill on the floor, and I cleaned it up.
And you're like, this is the best cleaner I have.
It was what I had. It was in
Right.
a spray bottle, so I sprayed it, and I did this. And at the time, I was, I was recently divorced. I had this girlfriend, and she was not a nice person, really.
Oh no!
I'll say this. But I did this, and she came running through the kitchen, and she slipped and busted her ass. And she immediately knew, somehow or another, she fucking knew. She was like, "Who put Windex on the floor?" Like it had happened to her before at some point. Like she knew that
Somehow so one other person in the universe had this experience where they slipped on Windex, and that happened to be your girlfriend at the time.
Yeah, she was livid. And, anyway.
No, hacks are bullshit. Also, hacks apparently I cannot drink. I need a drinking hack because
the drinking hack
I
is
just splashed beer on myself.
a straw.
I recommend putting your lips fully on the side of the glass
You get a
and not taking the glass away before you're done.
drinking hacks. Put your beer in a sippy cup like you're a toddler. You won't spill it.
Hey, I've done here's a real drinking hack at events where you're not supposed to have drinks on the street.
Mm-hmm.
You put your drinks in a to-go coffee cup.
Yeah, that's fair.
A beer in your to-go coffee
Hey,
cup.
listen, you know what I used to do? Speaking of, I got a beer hack too, because we used to live in an apartment complex. And one of the rules of the apartment complex at the pool is no alcoholic beverages around the pool, right?
Right.
And I'm like, and my wife would be like, "Hey, let's take the kids over to the pool." And I was like, I don't want to go to the pool. She's like, "Yeah, come to the pool with us, with me and the kids." And I'm like, oh God, it's like 2 things I don't like. First off, it's being around a bunch of screaming kids. Mm-hmm. 2, it's sitting around in the sunshine, which I also hate. And I'm like, the only thing that's going to make that tolerable is alcohol, and I know they've got a no alcohol rule over there. So I would just wind up. What I would do is I'd pour myself like a porter or something, and I'd put it in a regular glass, and I just go take it with me.
It's an iced coffee.
Well, no, I would tell people like one of the kids I remember came over one time and said, "Hey, what are you drinking?" I was like, "Dr. Pepper," and he's like, "We had Dr. Pepper."
No, we absolutely do not, child. Sorry, no. We don't anymore.
He thought I was holding out. He's like, "Oh, we had Dr. Pepper." Shit. I would just tell people, because I figure if you pour yourself a dark beer, nobody's like, if you saw somebody with this, you think, oh, that's a beer.
That's beer.
Yeah,
that's
but you get a dark beer, you could stand around the pool and people think you got a cola.
Yeah. Especially if you put ice in it.
Oh, I should have put ice in it.
I mean, that would also taste disgusting after a while.
A while. You see how I drink. It wouldn't have been around a while.
That's true. That's true. But see, there's a life hack. Yeah. Put ice in your dark beer at the pool.
There you go. Put ice in your dark beer at the pool and just drink really quick.
There you go. There you go. All right. Let's real quick take a short break before we get to more life hacks.
Okay.
We have some things to promote.
Oh, yeah.
Because we've been off for a while.
All right. What are we promoting tonight?
You may remember that we've created our totally fungible token.
That's right. Which is great because I hear the non-fungible tokens are now worthless.
Oh yeah, completely.
But our totally fungible tokens are still going to be worth what you paid for them.
Correct.
And only that. They're never going to gain value, but they're not going to lose.
They're not. You own them.
You own them.
So if
they're worth what they're worth to you.
If you want to sell them in a garage sale, put whatever you want on it. But
if it's worth $10 to you, put $10 on it. I'm not saying you'll get it, but.
So it started out with the Stay Shitty, My Lord, which we were very proud of. This helpful skeleton with his bowler hat. But then we realized that we were being
sexist.
We weren't including all genders. So we created the Stay Shitty, My Lady with this helpful bat and his fedora. Right? But
I love that because it's the whole milady,
But then we are, if nothing else, we're very woke here at Bill Has Opinions.
Right.
Also, but not joking. We actually do genuinely care for our trans and non-binary viewers or friends or family or whoever. So I decided that we needed something that was more gender neutral, non-binary. So I actually looked it up. I looked up what would be a gender neutral term for Lord or Lady. And what came out of all my research, the best of the bunch, was My Good Noble. My Good Noble.
And you gave the cat
a cat in a beret.
A beret.
It has to be apparently a Halloween style animal or Halloween style being.
I get it, but a cat in a beret also tells me this cat is an existentialist.
That's true. This cat recites beat poetry.
He's French and he smokes cigarettes.
Yes. Not just any cigarettes. He smokes the cigarettes with the cigarette holder.
Oh,
that's what he smokes. Right. That's what he's doing. So anyway,
and he holds them like this.
Oh yeah, for sure. But you can go to Threadless.com, BillHasOpinions.threadless.com, and buy our totally fungible tokens. We encourage you to do it as soon as you can before they're gone. I mean, they're not going to be gone because
they're fungible.
They're fungible.
And you can have as many of them. It's not like it's the only one. You and 1,000 other people can own it.
Yes, but we would actually really like it if you and 2 other people own it. So
that would be awesome.
That'd be great.
These would look great in your bathroom. Is what we're trying to say.
That's the point. You could do all 3 if you want.
You really could.
It would be great.
And then everybody would know to stay shitty.
Stay shitty, my lord. No,
your guests would see all this and they'd think, I'm not going to wipe.
Right. And if you don't know, the joke comes from your butt tape, my lord, right?
Butt napkins. Butt napkins.
Tape and napkins doesn't matter. Your butt napkins, my lord, which are literally the stupidest thing on the internet.
I actually, this came up the other day, yesterday, I want to say, on a forum I was on, or I don't know if it's a forum. Facebook group.
Internet.
A Facebook group. I don't know whether, I always call them forums, but the forums are like a thing from 15 years ago.
That's very Gen X of you.
I know. Anyway, sorry, a Facebook group that I'm in, someone posted a version of the butt napkins. And they said, what do you think? This was the question. They actually put a picture and they said, what do you think? And I said, I don't get it. I don't think it's funny. I was like, is it supposed to be like? Is the joke that it's the juxtaposition of the of the fancy like Renaissance language mixed with the like lowbrow thing? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, okay, well, that's dumb. I'm sorry, it's not funny.
I get it, but it's also dumb. That's what it is. So
why am I supposed to find this humorous? Is what I keep asking whenever I see it.
fair. So to be fair, I find this very
This
humorous.
is very humorous because it's like, you taken, lemons and you made lemonade.
But absolutely. Like I find these
I mean, in the sense of
fantastic.
milk lemonade around the corner fudge is made.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. No, I mean, yes, I know the joke. But so buy them. Buy them. We were just talking today.
Yeah,
maybe at
we're gonna
DragonCon
make
we'll
some
have
stickers.
some. Yeah, we might have some stickers to pass out at DragonCon. So if you happen to be at DragonCon, you can get some.
You can get some of our fungible tokens in a very small format.
Very, very small. All right, so life hacks.
Yeah.
All right, here's my first point about a life hack.
Okay.
Nothing is a fucking life hack. We can't hack
You didn't get
life.
one. You didn't get one over on life. Is that what
No,
you're saying? Like
you're born, you do some stupid shit. If you're lucky, you can do less stupid shit, and eventually you'll die.
Uh-huh.
No, you can't hack life. Nobody is surviving forever. Like,
well, you tell that to Vlad the Impaler, who is now an immortal vampire.
Sure, he did life hack. I do
He
love
life hack.
I do love me a vampire show.
Yeah.
So yes.
There you go. That's a life hack. Is
It's a
if you
life-
can get bit by a vampire, you can live forever.
Become a vampire.
And then
So-
you've hacked life.
We had a whole vampire show, but and I'm sure we covered this in the vampire show. But to become a vampire,
Uh-huh.
what are your options? So do you get bit by a vampire and become a vampire? Or do you get bit by a vampire and have to exchange blood with a vampire to become a vampire?
I like the formality of the exchange blood. It's kind of like becoming a Jew sort of thing. I like the
You have to go through a ritual.
thing. Yeah, you can't just like
Even
because
Catholics.
right, yeah, because
They're pagans.
well, it doesn't make any sense for them just to like because if they just bit you and you became a vampire, then
But then there'd be all the vampires. Like
Exactly,
every
that's
person
what I'm saying.
you ever
Like
bit.
it would exponentially make too many like so they got to be
Too many vampires.
they have to be able to they have to have like a thing like a closed loop
Mhm.
sort of thing, which is why I'm down with the whole like they go, hey, do you want to be a vampire? Yes, I do. I'm gonna bite you. You're gonna bite me back, and then you're gonna be a vampire. Okay, very
Yeah,
good. And then 2 days from now, you're gonna have to go bite someone else.
Yes.
and drain them. You're gonna have to kill that.
Yeah,
person.
you don't have to make that person into a vampire.
No, you
just
kill them.
Eat that vampire.
You just need to eat that.
or eat that person.
Yes, but if a zombie bites you, you do become a zombie. Yes, that's not how zombieism works, Jay. But that's not how vampirism works. Because the vampires, like Jews, they don't really want a bunch of vampires.
No, they want fewer vampires.
So
Yeah.
you notice the Jews are one of the few religions where they don't go door to door going. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to bash on Jews or anything.
No,
I'm
we
just saying,
don't. We
but
don't.
they don't go door to door going, hey, would you like to be Jewish? They don't care. Like, you want to be Jewish or don't. Like, if you want to be Jewish, you'll seek them out. You'll say, hey,
That's true.
and they have a rule. Like, if you try to convert to Judaism, you have to ask 3 times. 3 times. So you got to be serious about it. Like, you're not just like, hey, can I be Jewish? And they're like, yeah, whatever. No, they're like, you got to ask us 3 times. Like, be serious about this shit.
Frankly, I think that's
No,
good
I
for all
appreciate.
religions.
I appreciate the shit out of this. By the way, that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. It's like I wish all religions would just make you come to them. Like, if you really give a shit about this stuff, you'll come over and ask us about it.
Right. Yeah.
Instead of us like harassing you on the street corner or whatever the fuck.
That would make the world a better place.
So I'm saying,
Abortion would still be completely legal. So if we didn't do that.
yeah, the Jews don't give a hang about abortion, by the way, because
I
it's not
mean,
in their part of the Bible
well,
at
and
all.
some of
I don't
them-
think.
Even if you do, they don't make an issue of it. Anyway, so one thing that's definitely not a life hack,
Okay.
we went through a lot of this,
Uh-huh.
was videos for things that use objects in question in the manner in which it was intended.
Oh gosh. No, that's mostly like just a hated kind of like,
They don't. They label them life hack.
Oh yeah, the life hack. Can opener life hack. Did you know that the can opener will open cans and bottles? It's crazy. You can open like a tin can, like a can of soup,
Right?
and you can also open a bottle,
Yeah.
and you can also, a can of juice. you can just punch 2 triangle-shaped holes in either side of it and dump pineapple juice.
And those are hacks.
Those are hacks.
All right, I want to give you a real hack.
Okay.
All right, you take the same can opener and you do the top of the beer can, and now you have something you can put your used grease in when you fry something in the kitchen.
Okay.
That's a life hack.
But you can put that in the can of soup also.
But I'm not using a can of soup when I'm frying something.
Oh, but you are drinking a beer.
I am
So
always
you're always
drinking a
drinking
beer.
Okay.
That's,
Fair enough.
That's not a
I
question.
get it.
Yeah.
I'm
But
a big fan of. I just put I always take a wad of tinfoil and put it in a bowl, and then I dump the grease into that.
and then let it.
And then I put it in the freezer, and then it turns into
Yeah.
a solid.
No, I do the same thing, but with the beer.
I got
beer
you.
can.
It's fine. Yeah.
Because I always. But if you use that can opener,
Or you can just cut
just
the top
take
off.
the whole
Yeah.
top off of it,
I follow you. Okay.
and then you can pour it in there. Try it next time.
Maybe I will.
Because you'll probably be drinking a beer too.
Oh, you're right. I'm always drinking a beer. If I'm cooking, I'm drinking a beer. If I'm in the kitchen, there's a beer.
Life hack. That is.
Hey
my
guys,
life hack.
I'll tell you something that makes cooking easier. Have a beer. Also, social situations. Have a beer.
100%. Absolutely.
There you go. That's the biggest life hack you need to know.
That's true.
Just have a beer.
That's true. So it's funny because the reason why that one came out was we saw TikTok has created this life hack genre.
Oh my
right?
God. Yes.
Like you can't go 2 seconds on the internet without seeing someone's life hack.
Yeah.
And usually, so this one was in particular, the reason we brought this up, I sent you this life hack, and it was somebody took an IKEA shoe organizer, an Amazon shoe, whatever it was a shoe organizer.
I think it was a IKEA one. It was a little,
Yeah.
the little, it's like a little,
little
thing. It opens up like
door.
a halfway drawer.
Right, and you put all the shoes inside.
And they were like,
standing
check
up.
this out.
Yeah.
You put shoes in here. And you're like,
But
yeah, because that's what it's fucking for.
But it was titled Shoe Organizer Hack. And the entire hack was you assemble the shoe organizer, you put your shoes in it, you put it up against a wall, and you put some fucking flowers on top. Like that was the whole hack. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Okay, well we'll come we're gonna go full circle on this unless you want to talk about that now, because this is a sub-genre of hack.
Oh, IKEA hacks?
IKEA hacks.
Yeah, well, we could talk about that now.
Okay, well,
some of them are useful.
Some of them are useful, and it's when you take an IKEA item and you use it for not what it's used for, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, there's an IKEA shoe organizer, not the one you're talking about, not the one that's like a little fold-out drawer thing
system, yeah.
But the one that's like it's like a small shelf that's like at a 45-degree angle. I don't know if have you seen that one?
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah.
There are people who buy those, a shoe rack, and they put their synthesizers on them.
Oh,
I'm on a lot of synthesizer forums, and there's a lot of cool IKEA hacks for synthesizer things. Actually, the other day I was at IKEA about 2 weeks ago, and I purchased an item, and it was I think it was supposed to be a computer stand or something, but I bought it because it creates a second tier, so I can put twice as many keyboards on the same desk.
Right.
You know, and that's not like a huge freaking hack, because a keyboard, a computer keyboard and a synthesizer keyboard are like not that different. But anyway, I'm
about to drink my holy grail of beer.
God. I've been enjoying. You see, I've actually slowed down. I usually don't drink. I don't drink beers this slowly.
You're savoring
but I'm enjoying it. But anyway, yeah. So that's one of the things. IKEA hacks are a thing. Also, this is an interesting thing I'll point out. Also, in the same realm of audio stuff, this is most of the IKEA hacks I know is like people who buy IKEA furniture and use it for audio reasons.
Sure.
But there is a table they sell at IKEA. It used to be like $7.99. I think it's probably $14.99 now.
Yeah.
The LAC table.
Yeah.
It's a little short.
The LAC has a lot of hacks.
So the LAC is exactly the width of rack equipment. So you can actually like put like a preamp or something, like you mount it between the two legs of a LAC. So that's the thing people do, is they buy that and use it as an audio rack because it's cheap. So the rack LAC is a hack. Exactly. The rack LAC hack.
The rack LAC hack. No, that's absolutely, and I've seen the rack in particular has a lot of uses.
Yeah.
Like I've seen people use two of them stacked.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, especially during the pandemic, right? Like,
Yeah.
when people were all working from home who didn't mean to,
Yeah.
they stacked two of them and then put like just wood or like a shelf or like something off the shelf at Home Depot, right? Just like wood, and made a desk out of it. So
Okay.
because if you stack two up and then put the wood
Oh
on
yeah,
top,
that would be this high. Yeah. I
yeah,
got you.
they're the perfect height for a desk.
So
if you
yeah,
don't want to
but
buy
the whole
a
desk would cost you less than $80.
Yeah, exactly. Way less than
I
you could
fe-
buy a real desk.
Yeah, I feel that. Also,
But also, you're not just using a card table, or the dining room table.
yeah,
You know, especially during the pandemic, everybody was trying that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got sidetracked because I thought about something for a second and then it left.
Oh,
I thought it was related, but then I forgot what it was.
That's okay.
So it's okay.
all right. So we have some useful life hacks. Well, I had two useful life
Did
hacks.
you?
I'm sure
Okay.
you might have.
I got
some.
one or two.
All right. So there are useful life hacks. By the way,
but you're still not hacking life.
you're not hacking life, but there are things that
will make your life easier.
Well, yes.
There you
And
go.
one of my favorites is on car trips
Mhm.
as a passenger, right? You probably can't do this as a driver, it'd be more difficult. But when you're in a hot car, like you're hot and you take off your hoodie, and you're like, I'm hot, and then the air conditioning is on and you
Uh-huh.
get cold again, don't put the hoodie back on.
Never happens.
Put
to
your
me.
arms through the hoodie so the hood's in front.
I've never been cold.
And it's like a snuggie, though. At that point, it's just like a snuggie, and then you can just like chill out. in
I
the
got
car.
you.
But
Okay.
yes, I mean, if you've never been cold, but you're
I've
also rarely the passenger.
I've never been cold in the car, and oh my god, if I ever get in a car with a jacket or a hoodie on, like, I'm gonna wreck the car getting that shit off.
Because you're like, God damn it, I'm
10,
hot.
10 minutes down the road, I'm like, I gotta get this thing off, and then you're like, It's
Well,
like-
if you're driving, that's a different situation. I'm usually the passenger, and I will tell you part of the reason for this is that we have one of those like cell phone mounts, but it goes in the vent,
yeah,
and that means the vent is perpetually blowing right at me.
oh,
Like there's
it's got,
no
yeah, it's got to be
option.
pointed the way it's pointed. You can't, you can't like
you can't shift it.
Yeah,
You can't do anything
I
with it.
feel
So it's
ya.
pointing right at me.
that probably happens to Emily too, because I've also got a
Eh,
cell phone mounted in one of the vents that's pointed at the passenger.
right. So yeah,
But
Emily, when you get cold in the car, put your hoodie on backwards like a snuggie.
okay, like a snuggie. Very
Mhm.
good. Yeah.
Do you have any life hacks that are actually useful?
Life hacks that are actually I told you one or two, but these are also a subset. So I'm waiting.
So, okay,
I'm waiting
okay.
till we get
All
to that
right.
section.
Well,
I don't really know outside of that section. Like if I really have anything that I really consider a hack.
Is it a food hack?
Yes.
All right.
they're
Well,
food hacks.
let's go into that because mine is also a food hack.
Okay, let's talk
Right?
about food hacks because
Well, food
these are
hacks.
the most useful things I've ever discovered in my life.
They are genuine.
They're the ones that usually change your life. You're like, whoa, okay, well that's cool.
My favorite, the game changer for me. So I'll tell you a short, brief story before I get there.
Go
right?
into it.
So I grew up in a Canadian Polish Catholic upbringing. I was very, very white growing up, and so then I started dating my lovely life partner who is Greek and Italian, which is also white, but it's a different flavor of
Different
white.
kind of white.
Yeah. And I had gnocchi for the first time ever, like when I was in my early 20s. And I'd never had gnocchi in my entire life.
Dude, I
So-
don't think I had gnocchi till I was 40 something. So
And gnocchi, for those who don't know, it's a Italian potato dumpling.
Mhm.
So they're these little,
It's their version of spätzle.
kinda, but they're thicker,
Thicker
Yeah.
than spätzle. Spätzle's long and skinny, and this is like
like
a little lump.
a
Kinda.
little lump. Yeah, they look like little lumps. So anyway,
roll them with a fork. It's
yes,
cute.
you roll them with a fork and then you boil them
Little
up.
snail shell looking thing.
And I
kinda.
never liked them boiled. I would eat them boiled because that's what Italian American
Polite.
families do. It's polite, right? I would eat them boiled, but I never liked them boiled. And like they always tasted gummy to me, no matter how you did it. I
Yeah.
didn't love them.
They are kind of like potato gummy bears. if you
Yeah.
think about it.
But I learned. So a few years ago, we found this hack for gnocchi
Mhm.
that was like toss the raw gnocchi in olive oil and salt and pepper,
Mhm.
and then put in the oven for like 6 minutes.
And they get a little crisp.
Oh
like a
my
tater tot,
god,
yeah.
they are so fucking good at this point. So I'd put asparagus with
Mhm.
them, and I would just toss them out. You can do whatever, but I would toss them up with some asparagus.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they were so good. And that was life changing.
I don't know if I've had them that way, but definitely had
Do
them.
it.
I've had them crisped at the Purple Onion when I have them. They're
like
always,
after they're boiled, right?
yeah, they're
Like, you
always like
toss
they've been
them.
like maybe skillet fried or something.
Yeah.
Like, so they've got a like a they're brown and they're
Yeah.
they're crispy. They're not.
And I prefer that for like a professional plating. But if you're doing it at home, just
yeah, no, I get you. I get you.
don't
You don't want to pan fry shit
No,
at
I
the
don't-
house because
I don't
that's
care.
a pain in the ass.
Yeah, no, just try it
I mean,
next time.
At my house, I will tell you this. This is okay. Here's a life hack, and this is also a food hack. But here's the thing I did. So when we moved into our house, we purposely bought a gas stove. Okay, because I like the idea of you turn the eye on, bam, it's hot, it's ready to go. You know, I'm an impatient person. I don't have time for that bullshit.
No preheating for me.
Nope, bam, there it is. Like the oven takes a minute to preheat, but it's pretty quick too.
Mm,
Like you turn it on and it goes, it makes that noise.
yeah, it's true.
Anyway, this shit gets hot. It gets hot quick. You got a blue flame coming out of there. You know what I'm saying? I got an oven that's got like 4 eyes, and then in between the eyes, it's got this big griddle system thing going on.
Yes.
Because I am a fan of short order items. You know,
In a former life, you were a Waffle House cook.
something like that. Yeah, I do love that kind of stuff.
And in
Like,
a future life, you may also be a
I'll
Waffle
say,
House cook.
after I retire from my current job, I may be a Waffle House cook. Who knows? You know, I'll do it until I get mad at somebody and throw a chair at them or something.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But
that's fair.
in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
Yes.
like you do.
Yeah, but anyways, so I got this griddle on my thing, and I cook everything. Oh, I cook breakfast every morning on my griddle, you know, and I love it. It's the best. Where was I going? What were we talking about before I said this?
Food hacks.
Shit.
Gnocchi.
Gnocchi?
We were talking about gnocchi. We were talking about
Goddamn.
crisping them up. And then he went into this discussion.
Well, all I can say is it makes stuff crispy.
Yeah, well, that's
the
fair.
griddle makes things crispy. I love it.
Life hack.
I probably had a reason for where I was going with this, and then at some point my brain.
But also life hack, you can use a griddle.
you can use a griddle. Griddles are great, is what I'm saying. That's my point. And you know what's great about it? So when we bought the thing, it actually came with a aluminum griddle that was coated in whatever that shit is, you know, Teflon or
Oh,
something.
you just fucking buy a cast iron.
I got a cast iron one now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Like we upgraded. Like last Christmas, my wife was like, "What do you want for Christmas?" I'm like, I want the cast iron replacement for that stupid Teflon griddle.
Uh-huh.
You know. So now I got the cast iron one, and I never wash it.
Oh no, you
It's just got all the flavors. Bam. You know, I might stick it under the sink for a minute and just rinse it off.
Sure.
But oh my god. Anyway, one of the things this segues into my next thing, which was the thing I told you about.
Which,
This thing right here.
oh yes,
The
yes.
kale
no,
hack. Because lately, so I've been trying to decrease my carb intake and increase my fiber intake. So in the mornings, I've been making myself these omelets and things. Sometimes it's an omelet, sometimes it's a breakfast burrito. Breakfast burrito using the high fiber, low carb burrito shells.
Sure,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
that you can
yeah.
buy.
You can also buy ones that are just made of egg,
Yeah.
and they're really low. They're like gluten free and really low carb.
Okay, I haven't seen that one, but I've seen. I get the ones that are like high fiber
Mhm.
and they're low carb, and they say they're good for keto or whatever. I'm not doing keto. I'm doing like
Hybrid.
I realize I'm not going to cut carbs out completely because I like carbs.
You're
Okay.
doing Bilto.
Yeah, I'm doing my own thing. I'm doing my own dang thing, and it's working. I lost 15 pounds
Sure,
last
yay.
month.
Yay.
So it's working. But all I'm doing is I'm trying to decrease carb intake and increase fiber. That's and protein, I guess. But you just have to eat protein because you have to.
Right.
It's not really. It doesn't. It's a wash.
It makes your brain go.
Yeah, exactly. So I just I do things like I got a stash of Baby Bells in the fridge, and I just eat them when I want. Anyhow, so the point is, I've been making these omelets in the morning, or breakfast burritos, but I've been putting kale in all of them because it's the superfood and it's also
Yeah.
high in fiber.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that everybody hates about kale, and I get it, because when I was growing up, kale was the shit that was like used to garnish the bar at Shoney's.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like the salad bar. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then at some point, somebody's like, "You can eat this shit," and we were all like, "What?" Anyway, kale is good as long as you don't get the stems. That's the part you can't chew that shit enough. You'll be chewing all afternoon, and you're not a ruminant animal, so you can't. You know what I mean? They can't like chew it, swallow it, and then cough it back up, chew it some more. I mean, you could, but that's gross.
Try hard enough. You can do anything.
You put your mind to it. That's a life hack right there.
There you go.
Become a ruminant animal. No, I'm saying. So my hack is about kale. I buy the big bag of kale. Everybody goes to the grocery store. The big bag of kale looks like a fucking pillowcase.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like, you get like 8 pounds of it for like $1.50 or something.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the hack. And I didn't come up with this, by the way. I got to give credit for my wife. She came up with this because she has a tendency to acquire weird animals. We've had fucking, I don't know, like hedgehogs and sugar gliders and all this horse shit, and they always have like these weird diets and stuff,
right?
And anyway, so when she was feeding the sugar gliders that we don't have anymore, because she always gets these animals and then she realizes I don't need this grief. I don't have to have these stupid animals. And I'm like, well, stop buying crazy animals. We don't need them. Like normal people can enjoy animals at the zoo.
Why do we own them? Why do we have a monkey?
Why do we have to have that? No, thankfully I've drawn the line. I'm like, I will leave over the monkey.
Otherwise, there would be a monkey.
There would be a monkey, but I'm always like, no, like if there's a monkey in the house, there's no more Bill in the house. Like, I will leave. Anyways, she discovered this though because she used to have a special diet for the sugar gliders. She found out like if you bring home the giant pillowcase of kale and you put it in the freezer immediately.
Okay.
And then it freezes solid, and then you just take you obviously open it up so that it's not full of air. You're not popping it but then you crunch it up like this.
Yeah.
And then you just do that thoroughly.
Yeah.
And then all the stems, you shake it around, and all the stems come to the top. And you pull the stems out.
Right.
And now everything left in there is nice. Just like edible leafy kale, you know what I'm saying? So that's the kale hack, folks. And,
nice.
And I've been doing that. I mean, sometimes you still have to shake it a little bit. You'll find like another random stem, but for the most part, you've de-stemmed it all. Which that's the part I hate about kale is like the stems are too chewy. You just can't chew them. You could chew them all afternoon and you won't.
Right, and if you bought like a thing of actual kale leaves, then you have to process it.
Yeah, you have to. You do
cut out the stems.
You do the same thing. You cut the stems out, which I've bought it that way too, like raw. But I'm just saying, you buy the bag of already chopped up kale
for sure.
You throw it in the freezer for a day, and when it's frozen, you take it back out and just bust it up and just massage it like this, and then all the stems just shake right out.
I'll tell you what, that is not what I thought you meant when you said a kale hack.
I had a kale hack.
I thought, when you...
What did you think I meant?
All right, when you texted me, I have a kale hack, I honestly thought the kale hack was throw that shit away. It's bullshit.
Nope, I eat it. I mean, I don't dislike kale. It just the chewiness of the you got to get the parts you don't want out.
Yeah, I don't like the stems. I actually do know people who do, but I don't like the stems.
Those people are crazy.
I don't really like kale at all.
I wouldn't say I like it,
so
but
it takes like the preparation has to be very specific.
This is easy though.
All right,
this is easy. It's an easy way to massage the stems out of your kale.
I'll tell you the way I like kale is when it's like stewed in cream.
Oh, okay.
And then at that point, it's just fat. You've lost all the kale out of it.
You don't even know there's kale in there.
Yeah, no, it's just.
She wants you to hide the kale under some
light cream spinach.
If you would hide the kale under some melted brie, that'd just be great.
Absolutely, no question. No question. So I think those are two pretty good food hacks.
All right.
Pretty good food hacks.
Oh, I had another food hack.
What's your other?
My other big food hack. Well, this is the one that revolutionized my life.
Oh.
The cupcake hack.
Oh yeah, no, I do this too.
Yeah, so somebody gives you a cupcake and it's got icing about this thick on top of it, right?
Right.
I have a mustache. Like I'm gonna wind up with icing all over my fucking face.
Even if you don't have a mustache, if you try to eat that, like as a woman, if you try to eat that, you still have icing all over your fucking face.
So the deal is, you pull the bottom half of the cupcake off, you flip it around, you make a sandwich out of that thing. Now you don't get icing all over your face.
Oh, I do that shit too. I think that's brilliant.
Oh my god, that's like that was the biggest thing, like eye opener when I learned that. I was like, what? Oh God, this is crazy. And so now I do it every time. Like I get a cupcake, you know, and I mean, like, it's one thing if you get like cupcakes like somebody made at home where they just got the light smear of icing. Okay, fine, whatever. But you know what I'm talking about? The ones you get from the grocery store that have like this much
Yeah.
icing on
Yeah.
top. You're like, that's
Or even like if you go to an actual ice cream or a cupcake
store,
shop,
yeah.
they all have that much ice cream.
yeah, because well, they got to justify the $18 or whatever they're charging for a cupcake.
I'm really bad at drinking right now. I keep
You
spilling.
need to get that sippy
Well,
cup.
I keep
I'm gonna
removing
bring
the
you a
glass.
sippy cup next week.
I keep removing the glass before I drink it. So
how does this work?
how do I drink?
How
Yes.
many times has this happened to you?
No, that's so yeah. In our intro video where I had the woman like, oh shit, like I wanted to emulate that infomercial.
The incompetent person who can't normal do things.
Yeah, well, they're always those parts of the infomercials are always black and white. Like
Yeah,
somehow you're only incompetent in black and white.
Right. Yeah, like how many times has this happened to you? I'm like, well, I don't recall that it's ever happened to me.
It's literally never happened to me. One of my favorites was for something like a replacement for like a Tupperware or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And it was somebody going into a cupboard and pulling out their Tupperware and like everything collapses around them and they're just like in this flailing sea of Tupperware and lids. And that was one of my favorite I love that. It was one of my favorite infomercials. And I was like, blah! It was
The reality of it is that if there was a crapalanche of Tupperware,
yes.
there would be no matching lids and bottoms. Like you would
Correct.
Every top you had it would have no matching. Like I don't know what happens, but I actually like there was a meme I remember seeing. It was like they put these in a time capsule. They put like 3 Tupperwares, and when they opened it up,
Right.
it was like 3 bottoms and 3 tops that didn't match or something. You know, because how does that even happen? But it happens like within the course of a month. Like you go back and they're all fucked up. Like I don't got any tops and bottoms.
I agree. I'll tell you what, here's my life hack for you.
Okay.
We stopped buying like obviously the era of actual Tupperware.
Sure, yeah.
Nobody buys real Tupperware.
No, you don't
Tupperware
have, you mean the
party.
party?
Yeah, the
like,
party.
Your friend comes over and
Nobody does.
Nobody does that.
That.
Although I saw a car the other day on the highway where the woman was like a Tupperware top seller,
wow,
and she had an SUV that said Tupperware on the
All
side.
right, well that.
And I was like,
she's the only person in the southeast.
I was shocked. I was like, what? But they do the same thing that Mary Kay does.
Mhm.
They get a car, except for instead of like Mary Kay, they just get like, you
get your pink.
You get a pink Cadillac or whatever. It's like everybody knows you got it because of Mary Kay,
Right.
But they don't have to put the word Mary Kay down the side of it.
Right.
The Tupperware car was actually a white car that had a big orange stripe, and in purple it said Tupperware down the side.
Nice.
And I was like, well, I don't really know if that's really a win.
It's not. Life hack, it's not. But but an actual life hack, because we don't have Tupperware parties anymore, we're not all just buying Tupperware like our grandmothers. I have not so what replaced it, right, was like buying the Ziploc actual like boxes.
Sure.
Right? Which we've also done. But we would go to a particular Chinese restaurant.
I was about to say, you switched to Chinese food, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So every time we go, my favorite thing in the world, especially when I'm sick, is wonton soup. I love wonton soup, especially when I'm sick.
Well, when I'm sick, it's tom yum soup.
Oh, yeah, that's fine too. Or egg drop, or hot and sour.
But I get you.
Like, yeah.
Well, tom yum is kind of
somewhere.
Well, some people call it hot and sour. I think some people call it tom yum. Same shit. Basically,
right?
That's the one for me when I'm sick.
I like wonton, but I also like hot and sour. So,
okay.
We would go. There's one particularly in town that specifically uses like and as somebody who is familiar with restaurant industry, it's like it's just the clear plastic things with the lids, right? Yeah.
If it's this big.
Well, it's a 1 pint, and then they have the larger 2 pints, right?
Yeah.
We have a shit ton of 1 pint, and we just kept saving them every time we get wonton soup from the one Chinese restaurant we like in town. And we would get it delivery, and especially when we were sick. And last year we got sick 3 times. We got COVID and then immediately got, or actually we don't know in which order. Actually, we do know in which order. We got like the flu, and then we got RSV, and then we got COVID. all like in the matter of 2 months,
Jesus.
3 months.
All right.
And so we were buying soup constantly. We're
Yeah.
like, we don't feel
You're
like
souping it up.
we just want somebody to deliver us some soup,
and
damn it.
bring us some soup.
So now all we have are the 1 pint, restaurant with the lids, and they're the best.
They are the best. Well, my wife's in the restaurant industry, so actually we can just grab those.
You just get.
We just get them from the restaurant. But I have in the past. I will say, if I go to a Chinese restaurant, I do always save both their pint containers, and also if you get like the entree, it comes in the long one with its black with the clear top.
With the clear top.
I wash those too.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I don't buy fucking Tupperware.
No.
Like that shit comes free from the Chinese place.
Absolutely.
Like,
But I'm all in fact where
it's
we're
kind
starting
of
to run
full
out.
circle though, because it's like our grandparents knew this.
with the Cool Whip
with the Cool Whip
container
and
the country crock.
and the country crock and the parquet. you know.
For sure.
They had all the exactly.
did.
You never knew what oh, is this butter? No, it's not butter. It's
I
butter.
can't.
It's
I can't
butter
believe
beans.
it's not butter.
I can't believe it's butter beans.
Exactly. We actually really need to go. We need to get some Chinese food soon and get some more because every once in a while you have something you put in the fridge and then you forgot about it and then you're like, that's a science experiment. Let me throw away the whole damn thing.
You're just like, I'm not opening that.
I am not cleaning that.
That's going out.
It's not happening.
That's why you use the Chinese ones because you're like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not out anything. I didn't spend money on that.
Absolutely.
Which is it happens to me too. Yeah, you'll be like, oh shit, that's a month old.
So,
oh my god! Like I threw my Thanksgiving leftovers out. I think in January.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, well, because I've got two fridge. I've got a fridge in the house and then one out in the garage. And the one in the garage, sometimes I just don't notice what's in there, and I'm like, oh shit, this is old.
That's bad.
It's bad. I'm not eating that.
Right. Also, by the way, this is not a life hack. It just should be something is shit in the freezer doesn't stay forever. Just because it's in the freezer doesn't mean it's good.
Oh, also, here's another life hack. If you put that chicken in the freezer, you're never going to eat that shit. You will never remember to thaw that chicken earlier in the day.
I actually have I found, because I would buy like a big thing of chicken. We started doing this during COVID, particularly because we were cooking a lot at home, obviously more than usual.
Okay, yeah, because you couldn't go to a restaurant.
Right. So we were buying like a big thing and it had like 6 chicken breasts in it.
Right.
So we keep every once in a while, I get another one of those, like a big one, and I'll put them in individual bags in a bigger bag.
Okay.
Right. So like we have them ready. So they're.
Did you date them so you know when you put them
I
in?
used to, but I did not.
Oh.
But what I discovered recently was that I had done that several times. And then I had 3 separate, like I got to where there was 1 left.
Oh.
And I didn't cook that one. I just bought more. And so now I just recently found like 5 chicken breasts.
Singles. And you were like, and these are old as hell, right?
Well, I did with the intention that we might cook them. I put them all in 1 bag. So at some point, maybe.
You had the best of intentions.
Yeah, no, it really did. But like I would buy it and I'd make 4 of them. And then 1 would end up.
Here's another food hack. This revolutionized my life. I don't buy meat until the day I want to cook it. It saves me $30 a month. Because I would buy shit if you go to the grocery store and you buy like a roast and you buy like, a thing of chicken and you buy a thing of beef and all this.
Right.
90% of the time you wind up just chuck it. Like, you like, you're supposed to cook it on Wednesday. Wednesday rolls around. You're like, fuck it. I'm tired. Cook a pizza. Thursday rolls around. Fuck it. I'm tired. Let's go out, and then next thing you know, like that shit's bad and you got to throw it away, And I was doing that all the time. And now my thing is if I want a meat product, I go purchase it the day. I'm like, this is a European thing. I understand. Like,
right.
You buy the meat on the way home.
Well, because they actually go to real butchers.
The real butchers, yeah.
Not like
I don't
Publix
go to a real butcher per se.
or Ingles.
I go to Ingles, but I don't buy meat unless I'm planning to cook it that day. That's become my new hack. Unless it's stored in some manner that allows me to keep it forever.
Yeah.
Vacuum packed country ham, which is like that's like a redundancy there because it's a country ham, so it's already been cured, and then they vacuum packed it on top of that, right? Like
right, so it's super duper.
Like you can keep this forever. You can throw this in the basement and come back to it after the world ends. You'd be like, shit, yeah, I got breakfast today, and then I'm going to kill myself. Because that's
Exactly.
I don't see the point in living after the world ends.
No, that's
Like
fair.
I know there's hoarders who like got this shit in the basement. Like
No.
to me, the only reason to keep this shit in the basement is so that I can have like one good breakfast before I off
No,
my.
my goal, honest to God, my goal is when the world ends, I'm gonna go to the closest brewery
Yeah.
and I'm gonna drink them out of beer.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I'm just gonna hole up there and
You're gonna be behind the bar.
I'll eat the
spilling-
snacks, yeah, because it won't last forever,
You're like,
right?
"Ah,
And then
yeah."
then the zombies will kill me.
Why would I, well, yeah, exactly. Because I'm with you. Like, why would I? First off, why do I want to be around after I can't get beer anymore? Secondly,
Right?
why do I want to be fighting my fucking neighbors for resources?
Yeah, no,
it's
not
not the
at all.
life I want to live.
I'll eat whatever if they have chips. If they like if it's a place that is a kitchen, that's fine. But the closest one actually doesn't. So I just eat whatever chips they have, pretzels, and then drink the rest of their beer, and I will drink myself into oblivion.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
the zombies can have
It'll
me.
be the one time where you're like, you actually drink so much when you're like, I think I might die. And
Yeah.
you're like,
And you're like,
okay,
that's
I'm
fine.
good. I'm good with that. I'm actually not going to puke tonight. Like,
And then I would open the door and let the zombies in. I'd be
The
like,
zombies-
"Hey, zombies!
come on in. I'm pickled.
I
Understand?
have a tasty snack."
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
You guys
that's
are gonna love this.
That's my goal for the zombie apocalypse for sure, and really any kind of apocalypse.
I was about to
be
say, it
fair.
doesn't necessarily have to be zombies. I'm
No.
just saying, whatever it is that these people are trying to live. Like,
I don't-
why 6 months of groceries? Like, who the fuck wants to live through? Like, that's not a life hack.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say, like, oh, we get to live 6 months longer than the average fool.
yeah.
Like,
yeah, no,
to what end?
no,
Like,
yeah.
you stay in your house and fucking like worry about shit and resources and like that's dumb as fuck. I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want my like neighbors coming over and be like, I'm gonna kill you for your fucking like stash of rice you got. You know, like,
I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna be drunk and dead
no,
by then.
I'm with you. I'm just like,
That's what's
I'm gonna
happening.
check out. Like,
Well, we'll coordinate that
All
if
right.
the end of the world happens, we'll go to the same brewery
well,
and we'll
It's gonna
eat
be a
what's
large-
left.
I'm gonna have to make sure I have a full tank of gas.
That's
before-
true because you got to drive, or vice versa.
I mean, and I don't know if the highway is going to be better or worse than they are now.
It's true. That's fair.
That's the whole thing. Like,
That's
you know,
true.
because if everybody's trying to get the fuck out of Dodge, I don't know.
Oh yeah, no. This reminds maybe at Halloween time we should do a zombie apocalypse.
We should.
episode.
We should totally. Okay.
All right,
We'll
we'll put that on the list.
We'll come back to that. All right, because we're getting crazy now.
Yeah, this
the
is
show-
not a life hack.
All right, so
all right.
you want to, what are these terrible life
Oh,
hacks? Let's get
well-
those quick.
Okay, real quick. Oh God, yeah. Well, we did one of them, and we did the other one of them. So terrible life hacks.
Okay.
You had sent me a video of like shoe life hacks. that
Oh
were,
Jesus!
like,
Yeah, those are crazy.
and they were stupid. They were like, if your pinky doesn't fit in your shoe, just
Paint your pinky
Paint
blue or something.
yeah, whatever. And it was but that led me to the next issue would be telling fact from fiction and satire and life hacks. Because I think now in the era of TikTok,
Oh,
some of these
you-
life hacks are
They're
just
just
fake
trying to
as
get
shit.
clicks.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah,
So they're
I feel that because
stupid.
they're stupid as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the one, especially the ones about Crafty Panda.
Yeah.
If you follow,
Oh, and that's specifically satire.
is it
really.
satire?
Yeah.
Okay, because they gotta be because they're stupid as fuck.
Yeah, it's like
But they're always like, hey, here's a thing you can, and they're called 5-minute crafts, right? Like that's what they post, like 5-minute craft. And if anything, this thing takes like 3 days. Because
right,
the person will like do a cast molding of something.
right,
And they'll wait for the silicone to cure, and then they pour a thing, and you're like, dude, that's like I've done this shit before.
yeah.
I've done silicone molding, and it does not take 5 fucking minutes. It's long, like that's a several days process. But anyway, yeah, and they'll do this dumb shit. And at the end of it all, you're like, that was dumb as fuck, and you just look like an idiot.
Well,
You know,
and I
like-
think the end result of that is a lot of these life hacks are satire
Okay.
or fake altogether.
Yeah.
Right. So
Oh yeah, you want to
Definitely
look
be
pretty
careful.
for a party? Dip your feet in gold glitter.
yeah, exactly.
And I'm like,
exactly.
you like, okay, but you will never see the end of that gold. That gold glitter will be part of your life for the rest.
forever, your entire house.
It's
So-
always going to be gold glitter.
All
Like,
right.
you'll be eating mashed potatoes. And you'll be like, there's
What?
there's gold glitter in these mashed
Well,
potatoes.
it was on my feet, but now it's in my potatoes. So, and then you
I
brought
got
up
gold glitter in my eye.
you brought up these two hacks.
Okay.
Hacky sack.
Hacky sack.
That's a hack.
That's a hack.
That's a hack right
I don't
there.
like it. It's a sack. It's also a hack.
And then you brought up Cadillac,
Yeah, I did. That's what you're trading in.
which is
Trading in your Chevy for a Cadillac.
because you ought to know by now. And also we're drunk now, so that's funny to us.
I thought it was funny at the time when I typed it, but I was just being silly.
No, I put it on the list.
I-
And so let's end the show on this life hack, right? So my one solitary single life hack,
Okay.
if you want to do one, is retreat to a cabin in the woods,
Mhm.
go completely off the grid, and not let your life be influenced by late stage capitalism in any way.
That sounds like the best thing you could possibly
I think
do.
that is the only life hack you can possibly have.
It's the
That's
only way
it.
it's the only one that's really going to get you ahead. You
It
know?
really well ahead, or at least surviving the apocalypse, as it turns
I
out.
mean, make sure you have a 6-month supply of rice. I suppose.
Yeah. Well, there was a guy that actually did this. He's been living in the woods of like upstate New York for like decades.
Yeah.
It turns out he was robbing neighborhoods in a nearby suburb, but otherwise he lived completely on his own.
That's not really off the grid.
No, it's not, because
If you
you're
get, this is my problem.
victimizing people.
This is my problem with off the grid people is that they 90% of the time it requires shaking down some other person who's still on the grid
Yeah.
for resources, and then I'm like, well, then you're not really off. Like, unless you're doing it 100%, like taking care of yourself, being a survivalist like Bear Grylls, eating live snakes.
Well, he's only a
drink-
survivalist, as in people are filming him.
drinking pee or whatever. You know, you're not really living off. Like, it's the same thing around here. Like, these people who like, I don't want to be part of the system, man.
Yeah.
And then they're like, can you spare a dime? And I'm like, fuck you. You live off the grid on your own time, like not on mine. You know, that's bullshit. Like,
And I think that's a complicated subject.
okay.
But yes. And like the guy that was living off the grid in upstate New York, like literally in the woods. I mean, the people in these suburbs did not know who kept breaking into their homes and stealing their rice. Like, and it was very weirdly
He needed
targeted
to-
like that.
He needed to learn to divorce himself. Like, here's the so okay, and we're going over, I guess, for a second.
For a
But-
second.
All I'm saying is, okay, then if you're gonna live off the grid, I guess learn to live without rice,
Yeah, or whatever.
or learn to grow
toilet
rice.
paper.
Learn to move to the Midwest and learn to eat the wild rice that grows in the lakes in Minnesota,
Or
like the Native Americans
the
ate.
southeast, like the Gullah Geechee region.
Okay, that too, but that's like cultivated rice. I'm talking about like wild rice. You know, I don't know.
It's like the San Francisco treat.
Rice-a-roni? Yes. Yeah.
So
go- move to San Francisco and stock up before you move out to the boonies
Yes.
to Big Sur, wherever the fuck
Yeah,
it is.
whatever.
And,
Absolutely.
And then you can live off of rice-a-roni.
Absolutely.
I
All
don't
right.
know.
All right. We do have to go eat our Bill Has a
We
Pizza, and
do.
I really have to pee. So
Oh gosh.
let's I did it before the show, and I regret that. But let's close out the show.
Okay
Do
then.
you remember?
Do I remember our spiel?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh boy.
It's been a while.
Bill Has Opinions is engineered and produced by Laura Lavoie. The opinions of Bill are his and his alone, unless Laura agreed with him, in which case they share that opinion, and vice versa, blah, blah, blah. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, like and subscribe on YouTube, and give us a thumbs up and all that stuff. Hashtag Opinion Gang if you want to say anything about us, or ask a question or suggestions for a future show. And be sure to tune in next week when we'll talk about wheat beers.
Wheat beers.
Wheat beers. Yes. We're going to have some wheat beers. And we'll be as drunk as we are tonight.
Or if not drunker.
All
We're
right.
a-
But
we're a
anyway,
little drunk.
we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. All right. So, what did we not get to on today's list? that toilet seat thing. I don't even know what she meant by the toilet seat thing. Only thing I can assume is she meant there was one of those stupid Crafty Panda videos where somebody like made like a resin toilet seat with like random bullshit in it or something. Like, hey, this will be a great life hack. You can make a toilet seat out of $20 bills and $40 worth of resin or something. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but it was probably stupid, whatever it was. So don't make a toilet. I mean, unless you really want a $20 bill toilet seat made out of resin. But if you know, it's not really a hack if you don't want that. If that wasn't something that was in your cards, if you weren't thinking, hey, you know what I'd really like is a fancy toilet seat made out of $20 bills and resin. It's not a hack for you, is what I'm trying to say. You're gonna want to just eschew that whole nonsense. What else do we not get to earlier tonight? No, I guess that's probably about it. Oh, well, we talked about all the other stuff, so I guess that's it, guys. That's the end of my extra stuff there at the end. I didn't even get to things that are extra. Speaking of,
no, we haven't done that in a while.
oh my gosh,
we have whole episodes for that now.
I know, right? We do. Yeah, we'll get to it when we do. All right, we'll see you later.